London, the capital of England. But what do you think when you go to London? Of course, the red buses in Big Ben, the pubs, and all the beautiful parks. Almost 9 million people live in London. In addition, London is the second most visited city in the world. London is known for its medieval buildings, and there's a lot to see. Just look at all the beautiful buildings like churches and palaces. London is also known for its many football clubs, as the English love football, which is reflected in their culture. The fans are really fans, and it's also great to watch the match. But more on that in a moment. More than 100 different nationalities live in the city of London, and more than 300 languages are spoken. So if you don't speak English very well, it's usually not a big problem, but it's very helpful if you can speak English well. London is also featured in many movies, which has made the city very popular among foreigners as well. So there are so many tourists every year. You can have a beer or a glass of wine on every street corner, and there's street corner, and there is fun everywhere. Be expensive. It's not that bad. It's fine to pay in England. Compared to many other European countries, you'll pay around 4 to 5 euros for a beer, depending on how fancy your bar is or what you want to spend on it. Built in 1998, the London Eye was the largest Ferris wheel in the world when it opened. Since then, some other Ferris wheels have surpassed the London Eye in height. As of March 2014, the High Roller is the tallest Ferris wheel in Las Vegas, Nevada, 167.67.6 meters. The wheel stands on the south bank of the Thames in London, opposite the Palace of Westminster. The London Eye was commissioned by British Airways for the turn of the millennium, which was celebrated at the beginning of 2000 and is therefore also called the Millennium Wheel. Due to technical problems, the bike was not available until later that year. The ride on the Ferris wheel takes 30 minutes, once average speed, 0.26 ms, and offers a wide view of London and the surrounding landscape. The bike rotates so slowly that it does not need to stop to get on and off passengers. You have to stand still to see the wheel lift off the ground. Above, on a clear day, you can see 7 boroughs, 3 airports, 13 football stadiums, and 36 bridges over the Thames. The London Eye is the 4th tallest accessible structure in London and rotates around 6,000 times a year. Number 2, the Tower of London, often referred to simply as the Tower, is a complex of buildings located on the River Thames in London. Over the centuries, it has been a fortress, a royal palace, a state prison, a mint, a garrison, a museum, and an arsenal. The nearby Tower Bridge takes its name from the complex, which has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1988. The Tower of London is controlled by the Constable of the Tower. This is usually a senior military officer. His role is to manage the buildings, staff, and grounds of the Tower of London. She also looks after the crown and other royal paraphernalia at state events. He is appointed for 5 years. The Historic Royal Palaces Foundation is responsible for management and maintenance. Number 3. Tower Bridge is a bridge over the River Thames in London, completed in 1894. The bridge is a tourist attraction. It is located next to the Tower of London, from which it takes its name. The section between the 2 towers is the main bridge that can be opened for navigation. 2 suspension bridges connect the middle to the wrists. 2 walkways 44 meters above the water level connect the towers and provide counterweight to the suspension bridges. In the second half of the 19th century, business east of London grew to such an extent that a new banking link downstream of London Bridge was necessary. Due to the shipping traffic and the tall masts that come with it, it was not possible to build a traditional fixed bridge into the harbor, which at the time was still in London Pool. A tunnel under the Thames, the Tower Underground, was built in 1870, but soon after it was built, it was for pedestrians only. Number 4. The London Stadiums. The world of football in London continues to change rapidly. Although its collection of football fields is already huge, new football stadiums are still being built, and in a few years London will be able to show 60,000 football stadiums. Perhaps a time will come when London itself can host the World Cup. London has one of the absolute temples of football in the form of Wembley, and existing important modern stadiums include the Emirates Stadiums, include the Emirates Stadium and the renovated London Stadium of West Ham. Spurs will soon add their big new arena here, and Chelsea are likely to follow suit in a few years. Although both White Hart Lane and Stamford Bridge are great stadiums in their own right. However, London does not only have large and modern football stadiums. In fact, what makes the city so attractive is its diversity, from the big to the small. Number 5. The London Museums. Admire iconic artifacts, extensive permanent collections, and exciting exhibitions at London's best museums. Explore free museums such as the British Museum, Museum of London, Science Museum, Natural History Museum, and the Vanda, or explore the city's past and present at London museums such as the Churchill War Rooms and London Transport Museum. I will tell you about it. The British Museum is one of London's most popular tourist attractions, visited by millions of people every year. It is located on Great Russell Street, London, E1, and is accessible by tube to Russell Square. From collections of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman art, China, ancient Mesopotamia, antiquities, coins and medals, prints and drawings, Renaissance and drawings, Renaissance and Anglo-Saxon Britain, etc. You can find almost everything under one. Number 6. The last one. The Westminster Abbey. Although the origins of the church are unclear, there was undoubtedly a monastery there in the middle of the 11th century where Benedictine monks lived. The church received its first major building in the 1060s under the patronage of the English king Edward the Confessor, who is still buried there. The construction of the current church was started in 1245 by order of Henry II in 1559. The abbey was dissolved and Elizabeth I made the church a royal property, a Church of England church directly responsible to the sovereign. These were the top 6 attractions if you want to go to London. I have been to London myself, and I think it was an amazing experience. Stadiums and all museums. Tower Bridge is very special, and also try the London Eye if you're not afraid of heights. I also want to thank you for watching this video and wish you a good day and maybe a nice trip. Goodbye everyone, and please come back to a new video if you want to see some other countries.